So there is a difference between basic income and universal basic income. So which do you advocate for? Which do you think is more necessary?
The basic income that we advocate for through the Basic Income Canada Network and me personally is the only one the public would have appetite for, and that's the negative income tax model, where if your income dropped below a certain threshold, then it's topped up. So everyone would have that foundation beneath them, so that they wouldn't slip into poverty. The UBI, and these terms are sometimes interchanged, is simply sending a check to literally everyone and then taxing it back. If you were a wealthy person and you didn't need it, then it would be taxed back.
Okay, I understand. And I think when we discuss the CERB, the CERB, that was a negative income benefit because, and I did find this somewhat strange that only if you made a certain amount of money the year before, then you received a CERB benefit. Well, what about those who made far less than that threshold, than that $5,000 the previous year? How would they not qualify? Roderick, did you find that strange, or maybe I'm just misinterpreting it?
No, the CERB, there's no doubt the CERB was hastily designed by the government's own admission. The idea was to get cash out the door. They did that swimmingly well, but perhaps a little too well. And it doesn't quite meet the threshold for a basic income, except for the fact that it did keep people above the poverty line. There's no doubt about that. But as a work incentive, finding that sweet spot to ensure that people are still thinking about work, that wasn't on due to the pandemic anyway.
Right. And Dr. Kesselman, I found it, I don't know if you'd say fortuitous, obviously it wasn't if we were all locked down in a pandemic, but it was timely that you were investigating and doing this report. Then all of a sudden we were in the situation where there was some element of a basic income through this program called CERB kind of being rolled out suddenly and perhaps hastily, as Roderick said, in Canada. So how did that live, almost pilot project factor into your report?
Of course, we did have to think about that and comment on it. I think Roderick's saying, and I would agree, the CERB is not the ideal model if we did want to go for a large basic income, because it doesn't, it sent a lot of benefits to those who didn't need it and failed to send benefits to those who did. It's not responsive to variations in income within the year, which is kind of challenge, and why the panel went for using the provincial income assistance system, which has monthly income reporting. Canada Revenue Agency gets information on individuals' earnings only on that T4 that you get in January or February. The employer otherwise reports just on aggregate amounts of taxes withheld from all of their employees on a monthly or quarterly basis. So of course, income assistance has a lot of warts, and we try to deal with them in our recommendations. It's certainly got stigma. It's got miserly benefits, and a lot of issues. And we are recommending major reforms like getting rid of the asset test, getting rid of a 3-month search requirement that is needed in BC before getting benefits or before the application is processed. A variety of things.
I was going to ask
The
about.
the world is messy.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the asset test. Can you please explain what that is? Does that mean if somebody has, like, say, a residence that's in their name, perhaps it was bequeathed to them, that then works against them if they have very little income, but yet they have this asset?
The way it has worked in BC, and I think probably most provinces, is there's a threshold. If you have more than X dollars in financial assets, you simply do not qualify for income assistance. It may exempt a family home if you own it, may exempt a car up to a certain limit, but otherwise it's an either or. If you're above the asset limit, you simply cannot get the monthly benefits. And looking at the data, we see that really was not very effective in that very few people. The benefit levels are so low in income assistance that it's kind of rare that people have assets well above the existing thresholds.